Hey guys, Steve here, singledadfitdad.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Today I wanted to talk about something for us old guys. It's about being fit over 40. I'm 43 and know what it's like firsthand to struggle with some things that I'm not used to struggling with. You know, I've spent the last 25 years or so in and out of gyms, exercising, training for certain events, and I've been pretty fit my whole life. And as I've started to get a little bit older, more specifically the last few years, I've noticed some changes in my body. I kind of always thought that I would be kind of invincible forever and never have any problems. And you know, as some of you know, I just had surgery on my elbow and it's still hurting. And now, you know, I'm finding out that I have what may turn into a hernia at some point from just the overtraining that I've been doing. You know, just I'll share a quick story with you. Last summer, I decided to get into the best shape of my life, so I trained my ass off. I was doing probably 4 to 5 really hardcore cross-training type exercise sessions per day, coupled with additional cardio on top of that, so maybe running or whatever, hiking. And I was burning a ton of calories. I was doing a lot of plyometrics, a lot of jumping, specifically high box jumping. So I was doing really high box jumps. I would be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And what happened was I started feeling a pretty significant pull in my abdomen. It got worse. I used to, you know, Advil, heat. I did the whole thing and didn't get better. So what happened was I actually had to take, you know, a month off. Didn't get any better. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So after about 5 months, I'd put on about, you know, 10 pounds of fat. I hadn't done anything. I was just trying to recover. And, you know, it came down to me not knowing my body well enough to walk away when I should have. I kind of pushed through it initially. And so when I got back into training earlier this year, I started right around the first of the year, really hitting the gym hard again after that layover. And what happened was, you know, within 4 to 5 weeks, and this just happened not too long, you know, a few weeks ago, I started feeling that same pain again. So I finally went to the doctor. They looked at it and said, yeah, there's some pressure there. You know, you may have a hernia down the road. You may not, but you need to modify what you're doing. You can't keep doing the workouts you're doing. And that really hit me hard because I've never had any issues. I've always been able to train really, really hard. You know, I love being the person at the gym that's working harder than everybody else. You know, I like when someone looks at me and says, wow, look at that guy. You know, he's probably in his 40s. Look at how hard he's training. You know, and I feel good about that. But, you know, I've come to learn I can't do that. So what I want to do is just share a couple of things here. I've got 8 things on the board that for guys over 40 that you know, should be mindful of these things as you're getting older. First one is your muscle mass. You know, right around age 40, it varies for different people, but right around age 40, we're going to start to lose about 1% of our muscle tissue or muscle mass every year. So, you know, just be mindful of this. So if we don't do any exercise and we're eating our typical crappy diets, you know, what's going to happen over the course of 10 years, right? Our body fat is going to slowly come up, the muscle tissue that we have comes down, and we're going to get, you know, more overweight. And as the years, you know, build, you know, when we're 55, 60 years old, you know, we're sitting around at 35% body fat, and, you know, we're not the mobile people that we want to be. You know, we're not the grandfathers that, you know, we want to be, where we're running around with our grandkids because we can't move, right? So, you know, one thing that we have to be mindful of is, you know, let's combat that, right? Get in the gym, start training, at least maintain that muscle tissue, okay? Lifestyle, look at your lifestyle. A lot of 40-year-old plus dudes live a relatively sedentary lifestyle. You know, tens of millions of white-collar workers out there that do nothing. Right? They sit at a desk, hunched over, head comes forward. They sit like that for 8, 10 hours a day for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years at a clip. And so, you know, when they finally decide, hey, I'm 40 years old. I need to do something. I'm going to be this fat piece of shit for the rest of my life. Excuse me. They go to the gym, they start exercising, they look at something on YouTube or a magazine or whatever, and they get hurt. They're done, right? Look at your lifestyle, you know, and then, base your workouts and your exercise sessions based on your lifestyle. Don't try to go from a 0 to a 10. Go from a 0 to a 1 or a 2. Take it slow. You know, I take all of my clients really slowly. The main thing is let's not get hurt, right? If you get hurt, you can't exercise. So stretching, rolling out, okay? 90% of the people I see in the gym and have over the years don't stretch at all. Right? They get changed, they go right over to the machines or wherever the weights and start exercising, right? Me, I spend a full 5 minutes on a foam roller. I spend a full 10 minutes with a dynamic warm-up. I make sure my entire body is warmed up. I mean, I do this every day and I cool down and I still get hurt. So for the people that aren't doing that, the chances of getting injured are much greater. So if you haven't used a foam roller, get one, watch a video. I've actually got one that I've recorded. I have not posted it yet, but really important, especially for people that sit a lot. Really foam roll that body. It's going to help you with your flexibility over time. Get annual exams. You know, I started getting physicals every year a couple years ago. Not the most pleasant thing, but you got to get those things checked, right? I mean, you really do, including the dreaded prostate exam, which I've had the misfortune of having a couple of them this year for different reasons, which or late last year, and it's obviously not a great thing, but really important. Catch that stuff. I mean, that's killing millions of men. So just start getting checked out. You never know what's wrong for you. I would have never have known that I had this tumor on my arm had I not gone and gotten a scan. I just thought it was tendonitis. I put a wrap on it. It wasn't tendonitis at all. It was severe arthritis and a huge ass tumor on my bicep, underneath my bicep muscle, eating a hole in my bone. I would never have known that had I not gotten it checked out. So don't be stupid. Get it checked out. Get a scan every year. Get blood work. Check for diabetes. Check for all those other things. You never know. Okay. Also, in the same note, get your thyroid and your adrenal glands checked as well. And there's tests for those. My last conversation with my doctor was, tell me about your energy. And we started getting into that. And she said, have you thought about the possibility of your adrenal fatigue syndrome? I said, I've had clients with it, but not really. And as she started talking more and more about it, I realized that, that's a possibility. Some of the symptoms that I have, that's possible. So we're going to get that checked out. Use weight-bearing exercises. Okay, like I said, we start losing muscle tissue, at age 40. Start using those weight-bearing exercises to help with that. So any weight-bearing exercise, anytime we're working against gravity. So because it can be something as simple as walking, running, hiking, one of those things. Non-weight-bearing activities would be, jumping in a pool or getting on your bike. Diet, nutrition, make sure you get your nutrients. I just can't talk about the importance of diet enough, especially when you're a little bit older. We're just going to keep getting fatter as we're getting older. Our diets, if we don't really take a look at them and try to improve them now, they're not going to get better. We have a real, a need for, the antioxidants and the fiber and all those types of things, but just also a good clean diet. Start making good choices, eating better foods, because, I'm petrified of being 50 years old and immobile or feeling like shit and having no energy to actually enjoy my life. I want to travel. I want to do a lot of things with my life. I can't do that if I'm injured or obese or hunched over. My shoulders and neck and lower back are all killing me. You're not going to want to be traveling the world and seeing all the things that you always wanted to see when you feel and you just feel like absolute shit. So take care of yourself now. You're still 40-ish, wherever old you are. You got a lot of years. Just take care of yourself. My grandmother lived until she was 99. So, if I look at it like that, and she lived actually a pretty good life. She died of old age. I mean, she never had anything wrong with her. So, the genes are in my favor and from that standpoint, but I mean, think about that. I'm 43 years old. I mean, that's a long time to go. I don't want to spend it feeling like a piece of shit. And then, last one is really read your body. Also very important. I know my body pretty well, probably better than most. I just am a little bit stubborn, so I pushed it last summer. I pushed it a little bit too hard, but now, when I started feeling that same pain, even though it really killed me to back off my training, I immediately recognized, all right, this is the same pain in my abdomen. I do not want a hernia, because if you get a hernia, there's no repair other than surgery, and the last thing I want to go in is another surgery. So I'm going to back my type of training down. Yeah, I can't go out and go crazy and do all the shit that I was doing and running 12-mile-an-hour sprints and jumping all over the place. And, I love that type of training, but, I have to be a little bit more realistic. And, I would suggest the same thing for you guys. Don't lift or train with your ego. Use your head, read your body. Something hurts, stop. I mean, it sounds obvious, but it's really true. Don't push through the pain. You're going to hurt your shoulder trying to go crazy with the bench, or trying to impress everybody with squats. You're going to throw out your lower back. Just, be smart about it. And if you have some questions, you want to kind of throw some ideas out with me, I'll be happy to share some of my experiences and kind of what's worked for me and what hasn't. Just hit me up, email steve@singledadfitdad.com. Thanks, guys.